Ahana, Sanya, until then, can you all send me the link to your presentation? I'll send it over chat. Thank you. Are you ready?
So just a minute. I'll just start. Um, I'll just figure out the animations. Just a minute. So sorry.
Until Namish gets ready, Ahana, Sanya, would you like to just give a brief about what your topic is for today?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead. So our topic for today is all about a student's handbook to Gemini. So we'll be talking about the various things that you can do with the AI agent called Gemini. So we'll be talking about Gemini for career growth, Gemini for building, and just an overall background about what Gemini is and how you can use it.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Well, yeah, I think Gemini is something that's coming up in our world as something very, very important for people from all backgrounds, not just students, but working professionals as well. So, really looking forward to your presentation.
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Yeah.
Yeah, Namish, you can go ahead.
All right. Present my screen. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Just a moment. Yeah, can all of you see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, hi, good evening. My name is Namish, and I'm a student currently studying in Diva Patil International School, Nerul, in Navi Mumbai. And I'm pursuing the IB diploma course with my focus in STEM and engineering. Outside academics, I enjoy learning about cars, innovation, and understanding the science behind why daily things occur. I also have a strong interest in cars, and I really like watching Formula One, and I also like mentoring people. So, just like I like physics, could I know from any one of you what are some of the subjects that you like enjoying? Anyone can just unmute and answer if there's any subject that they like, any hobby anybody likes to pursue. Anyone? Yeah, you can go ahead once.
I enjoy solving accounting problems.
All right, so you like accounting. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, all right. So, my topic is all about teaching physics, okay? So why did I actually choose physics? Like why physics as a subject? So physics is only chosen by a small percentage of students, which is almost 10% of students who are currently studying. So I chose physics because it transforms everyday observations into discoveries. So small interactions with any day-to-day tasks is unlocks that little bit of wonder and why things is happening. So my topic is called Physics Without Fear, where I aim to unlock a child or a person's aspect where they try to learn physics without considering it to be something very difficult. So I heard that no one pointed out that they like a subject like physics. So is there like any reason why you all do not like physics? Like anything? Mansi, you answered. Is there anything like why don't you prefer learning physics? Anything? Can be any reason. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like numericals of physics.
Okay.
Like,
All right. So numericals are a big problem. Okay. So my big reason why I chose this is that the biggest reason is every child is naturally curious. We all have a tendency to ask that why things are occurring, why this is happening. But sometimes science, along the way, learning throughout our years, it becomes only about something of memorization and learning formulas. So you lose that feeling of a science that you can learn and experience through day-to-day activities. So through my project, I want to make physics easier by explaining with simple ideas and sharing small activities and simulations that all of you can learn physics through. So the main problem was that physics feels difficult because students see it as again a subject which has a lot of complex formulas, as pointed out very well. The second reason is there is limited access to experiments and activities that happen. So in school, you just told to open a textbook, write down points, and memorize formulas. So that is the way you've been taught to learn physics. But there can be another way where physics can be less difficult in understanding, where teachers can make students have interest by showing simulations or having small activities. So physics is actually all around us. So when you see all around yourself, that even when you're cycling, there is a physics of center of gravity and friction. Like I'm sure all of you might be knowing that. Planes use concepts of lift from their wings, and runners use friction and motion to move. Quite simple. Okay, so could any of you just tell me basic physics principles that happen when suppose a balloon's flying or you're kicking a football or you turn on a lamp or anything such as racing a car or something like that? Any specific terms that you know of, like where physics is applied? Yeah, sure, you can go ahead. Anyone? Yeah, you can go ahead, Kushak.
Uh, uh, I think force and speed are the basics that are happening when you kick a ball or something like that.
Okay, all right. Anyone else? Anyone? They might have experienced anything, they might have gone through when cars drive, what are the principles that are applied? So, see, this is quite important to learn that through day-to-day activities, where is physics involved? So, okay. So, when a simple balloon is flying, it uses principles of balancing and air resistance. So, when you blow a balloon and you leave it, why does it go forward? And why does it move? Because the air is actually pushing the balloon. So, that is a concept of air resistance, where an object is moving through the air. The second example of kicking a football involves force and motion, which is pointed out very well by Kushagra. And a lamp uses something very interesting called electricity, and electricity is completely physics. And racing a simple go-kart or a car involves friction and action and reaction. So action and reaction is the basic principles or the first law of motion or Newton that you might know. So when something is moving, something opposes it. So that's friction again. So how would you approach a problem? So imagine there's a moving bicycle and you stop pedaling the bicycle. So why doesn't it keep moving forward? Why do you stop? Like, why do you come to a stop when you don't pedal? Anyone can answer if you know. Is there a reason that cycles don't just keep on moving forward, or when you're driving and you don't press the throttle button, you just don't go straight? Is there any reason? Okay, so again, it's the principles of friction. So here, while approaching the problem, instead of asking what formula do I use or what theoretical aspects do I need to use, you can ask what is happening, what forces are applied, where does the force come from? And the second principle is the physics idea. So get the theory clear that friction is something that opposes motion again. So the bicycle slows because forces are acting against its movement. So when you're trying to move, something is opposing you. Something does not want you to move. So I have a question. What would happen if there was no friction at all? Like nothing would oppose you when you move. So you would simply move forward without you stopping. So that's where physics is used again. So again, it's a short quiz that why do cars have seat belts? Anybody can answer. It can be physics terms, not physics terms, anything. I'm just trying to show examples where physics is used, so you can just answer. Yeah, go ahead, Mansi.
So, like when the car stops, we fall down ahead
Yeah.
because the car was suppose car was moving straight and suddenly we use the brake. So
Yeah.
because of sudden brake, we bent forward, and that's why we
Okay.
use seat belts so that we don't get hurt.
Okay, yeah. So that's something quite beautiful. That's something we call inertia in physics. So when you're sitting and you brake, your body has a tendency, or it's the habit of your body to continue moving. Like when you're moving, your body actually wants to move, but you're forced to stop. So something goes against you. So that's something called inertia. Then shoes have soles because friction helps us walk again, and planes have wings because they provide lift again. So these are short examples of where physics is used in our daily life. And the reason why I put these examples is to spark the curiosity amongst yourself or each one of you to wonder and explore the things around yourself. So the key takeaways from my presentation that I believe every student should have who's trying to learn a new subject is question everything. Don't just mug up or memorize whatever your teachers or educators are telling you. It is not something to remember for marks, but it's something to experience around yourself and question. Second, think scientifically. Think like a scientist. Be curious again. There's no problem if you're asking questions. You just interested. Third, stay curious. Four, Explore the field of science because science is largely undiscovered. Science does not only include physics, it also has wonderful subjects like chemistry and biology. So you can explore science. Five, build confidence. Even if you get questions wrong, it doesn't matter because it's all a learning process. You're all learning throughout the way. Six, discover physics because physics has not been discovered completely. Everybody can explore physics in small ways. So thank you. This was my presentation. There seems to be a problem, sir, for the large slide. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Namish. I think your last takeaway, especially to discover physics and to maintain that curiosity, that's really important for everyone. Not just you and I or the people here, but even when we go outside of school, outside of college. Next up, Ahana, Sanya, would you like to go?
Yeah, Sanya, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure, I'll go first. All right, everyone. My name's Sanya Mehta, and today I'm going to be talking about Gemini for career growth. So, this will be divided into 4 phases. Phase 1 is career mapping and exploration. So, first, one must identify their strengths. So, when you're confused about what you don't know what to do or what you're interested in, you can ask Gemini to analyze your interests, your hobbies, and your classes to discover potential career paths that you might enjoy. Say, for example, you enjoy cricket or you enjoy math, then or you're taking a class about math or cricket, then you can type it in. It'll help you identify your interests, hobbies, or strengths. Second is to define your target roles. Once you've figured out what you want to do, what you're good at, then you can type into Gemini and use prompts to break down typical daily responsibilities. Say you have a goal. Okay, so I'm interested in math and I want to learn so and so chapters or I want to achieve so and so goals. Then you can divide them into responsibilities between multiple number of days or certain milestones. I I want to achieve this job at the end of this month. So that's like a key milestone. Third is to spot skill gaps. Say you're interested in one thing and you wish to achieve it. Say you want to become a professional engineer or you want to get a job in engineering. And when you look at your qualifications and you realize something's missing, when you type into Gemini, Gemini can help you identify what's missing from your resume or from your qualifications, and you can achieve those goals. So that's spotting your skill gaps. All right, any questions? Okay, so I'm going to move on. So this is just an example of certain prompts which you can type in. So say I've worked at dash job for dash number of years, or you would like to achieve something. So these are just examples of a few prompts which you can type in. All right. Phase 2 is resumes and cover letters. Now, once you've already got all of your qualifications, when you write it, it can look a bit messy sometimes, so you should tailor your bullet points. So all the achievements you have, all the activities you've done, you can paste it into Gemini and it will make them into bullet points, keeping them concise and direct without any extra things in it. Then second is quantify your impact. Say Gemini can give you suggestions, logical percentages, timelines, or key results you can use to prove the value of your school projects or activities you've done. Say, for example, you took a course on public speaking. Then in your resume where you did that, it will help you incorporate it. Third is remove robotic phrases. Now, if Gemini or you're using some other type of AI to build your profile or your resume, the machine, like through the interview, it's going to seem a little bit robotic. So you can ask it to humanize or strip out generic standard buzzwords to keep your tone authentic and direct. aren't completely natural. All right. So here are a couple of prompts. First one was tailoring what to type into Gemini. Say, for example, I did a project. You should write what you did in simple words. Now I want to apply for so and so jobs based on this skill. Second, to quantify your impact. You can, after you've done that, you can ask Gemini, here's the simple description of a school project or task I finished. Give me a list of realistic numbers, percentages, or time tracking ideas where I can add the sentence into my resume or show an employer exactly how successful my work was. And third is to remove the robotic phrases. So you can paste your paragraph, what you wrote for your application, and using this prompt, you can ask Gemini to make it to humanize it. All right, so this is just an example. You can read through it if you want of a typical resume. So your name goes on top, your professional summary. It should be concise and very short. Then after that, in bullet points or short sentences, you can write your experience. Below that, your projects, so that they know what you've achieved. And fourth is your skills. And lastly, your education. Any questions? All right, so we'll move to phase 3, which is building an online presence. Everyone requires an online presence. So you can use LinkedIn. That's the most common one. So Gemini can help you build your LinkedIn profile as well. It can help you to write a strong headline. So you can prompt Gemini to draft a punchy headline using proven structures that showcase your major target field and core skills. I'll elaborate more on that later. And draft about your section. It can convert your list of accomplishments into a controversial first person narrative, and it can keep it very concise and short. So the employer or whoever is looking at it doesn't have to read the whole thing. They can skim through and understand your qualifications. And Gemini can also outline content ideas. That means when someone views your profile, at first glance, they understand what you've accomplished, what do you do, and what kind of job you're looking for. All right, so here it is, just a second. So you should first put the headline, and then you can write which job you want, what are your skills, if you have multiple skills. Then for the section about your story, paragraph 1, who you are, like I am a hardworking dash based in both city. What do you like to do? But very short and concise. Second paragraph is your skills, what you can do. And third paragraph is how to contact you. This is like the vital major things which you require for your LinkedIn profile. Yeah. And lastly, you can write your achievements. So this is again just a sample one. As you can see, the name is on top. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, as you can see, the name is on top and about is very short and concise. Even the experience is in short sentences or bullet points, so the employer doesn't feel like it's overwhelming. They should be able to figure out at first glance. Then education, then your skills. Phase 4 is interview prep and communication. Now, after an employer looks at your profile and they decide, oh yeah, I would like to interview this person, that's the major part, which Gemini can help you with. So you can use, for interview prep, you can use the STAR method, which is situation, task, action, and result method. This is where Gemini can help you the most. Use Gemini to outline your behavioral experiences logically using the situation, task, action, and result method. So it'll be, what was the situation? What task were you given? What action did you take? And what were the results you received? And Gemini can help you run mock simulations. So while using Gemini as an active, you can use Gemini as an active, interactive conversational partner that asks interview questions one by one and awaits your responses. So you can ask Gemini, hey Gemini, can you become the employer for so and so job? And can you quiz me or ask me questions? And the best part about all of this is you will get instant critiques. So on the spot, you will get to know what mistake you've done and how to improve it. Yeah. So here are some prompts you can type in. So So you can say, I am preparing for a job interview in whatever position. I want to share an experience where what all did you do? It can help you structure the story using the STAR method. Second, for run mock simulations, I'll elaborate on this further. And third, you can ask it to give you instant critiques. Yeah. So now this is where you can use Gemini's interactive quizzes to get the best result possible. So as you can see at the, hold on. As you can see at the bottom over here, I've mentioned a prompt. You can use this exact prompt where act as a professional interviewer hiring for whichever job position. It'll generate 5 to 10 or 20 and 40. 40 is the max limit question interview in an interactive quiz based on common behavioral and situational questions for this role. So as you can see in the slide, I've typed in the prompt, and in this slide it has tailored me some points, bullet points. They're short and concise, which you can read through. And on the top right corner, there's a create button. When you click on that create button, it'll provide you with quizzes, flashcards, info, and which all web pages you can refer to. And as you can see, I clicked on quiz, and here is the quiz. Yeah, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Sanya.
Okay, I'll share my screen now. Okay, so hi everyone, my name's Ahana. I'm 17 years old and I'm in 12th grade. And today I want to talk about what I think is one of the most useful skills you can pick up right now, which is building things with AI, specifically with Gemini, which is Google's AI assistant. Since most of you already have access to it for free with your Google account, here's the short version of what I'm going to show you. So basically, you no longer need to be a programmer to build a working website or app. The tools have changed, and the only thing that actually matters now is knowing how to describe an idea clearly. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you why the skill matters, what vibe coding actually is, and then I'll show you a video of me building a working website in just 4 minutes with Gemini Canvas. Alright, so why is building the career skill now? You see, most of India still runs on paper, attendance registers, handwritten bills, notebooks for inventory, and there are over 6 crore small businesses in this country, and most of them still track everything by hand. And these manual tasks are basically a problem that someone would actually pay to fix. This isn't just a business opportunity, it's a career opportunity. Earlier, you needed to be a programmer to solve these problems, you needed years of training, and now you don't. And here's the part usually people miss is that anything you build becomes proof of your skill. A working app on your phone says more about you than most certificates do. When you apply for colleges, internships, jobs, something that you built on your own often stands out, whether that's a website or an app, it still holds merit. Okay, so what is vibe coding? Does anyone here have any idea about vibe coding? Have you ever heard about it? No? Okay. So basically, vibe coding is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically simply building a software, an app, or a website by describing it in plain English instead of coding it. In 2020, if you wanted to build an app, the path was learn coding, learn syntax for 2 years, and then maybe build something. In 2026, the path is describe what you want in plain English and AI writes the code for you. The barrier now is no longer can you code, it's do you know what you want to build and can you explain it clearly? Now, does anyone here have like an app idea or an idea for a website? Has anyone ever thought of building a website or an app? Okay, that's all right.
Dildar
So,
had
yeah,
Yeah,
Dildar, go.
yeah. I thought about that. I thought about the app that have tree different trees data into that. Like whenever we click a picture, it will show the what are the features and all that things on the screen. So it was my idea before.
That's actually very interesting. With Gemini Canvas, you can actually build something like that in like 2 days. So, what is Gemini Canvas? So, when you go to Gemini, you can basically just enter what you want. You can describe the app, and Gemini builds it right in front of you in this small preview section. All you need to do is just tell it to change the colors if you want it to be different, or just add something else. And I would definitely like encourage all of you guys to maybe build something small over the weekend or whenever you're free. So now I'll actually show you guys a video of me building a website. Not sure. Can you all see the video or is an error showing?
showing an error.
Oh yeah. Can you all see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically I just put in a prompt which I also didn't even write myself. I just asked Gemini to give me a prompt to put in Gemini and it gave me a pretty big prompt and I just put it in. And within like 4 minutes, it gave me a full working app. So basically over here, I've just created like a small to-do app where you can put tasks, the priority of your task, and you can check it off as you complete your tasks. But be careful. There's one honest warning about AI written codes is that they can have mistakes and security holes. If you don't fully understand what you've built, you can't fix it when it breaks. And with vibe coding, things eventually do break. The truth is, vibe coding gets you started fast, but the real skill is still knowing what to ask for and checking what you get. Think of AI as a very fast junior developer who never gets tired, but who also never double checks its own work. You're the one responsible for what you ship, so as you build, stay curious, ask Gemini to explain the code it wrote, learn as you go. The people who win with these tools aren't the ones who trust them blindly, but they're the ones who use them and understand them. Thank you. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, Aahana. Saurabh, you can go ahead.
Okay, let me just share 1 second. So we have the ethical usages of AI. Can you see my screen or is it?
Yes, please.
So basically, my talk will be mainly just me talking. So if at any point, if you feel that you want me to repeat anything, please just feel free to say so. So basically, imagine you walk into a library where every book ever written is open at the same time, and you have a personal assistant who has memorized all of them. That's the power of a large language model or an LLM, which is what Gemini is basically. They can write code, draft essays, map like proteins and bodies. They can compute things that humanity wouldn't be able to if they worked together in 1,000 years. But as the old saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Right now, we are the pioneers of technology, but how we use AI today sets the rules for how society uses it tomorrow. you can't, ethical AI usage isn't just about holding technology back, it's about making sure you learn from it, you grow from it, and you know what you're using. Um, so let's begin by saying, start with the hard truth. AI doesn't actually know or understand what you're talking about. It's a mathematical function modeled off of human experiences. It's basically the most sophisticated autocomplete in the world. When you're typing on WhatsApp and you want to finish a word, it gives you a suggestion. That's basically how AI works. Since AI can understand text, it takes words and breaks them down into binary code, zeros and ones, and then combines them together to give you an output. Sometimes an AI model is fed wrong information from the internet and can, in industry terms, hallucinate, which is doesn't gives you completely wrong and false information, which means it's up to you to check what AI is telling you and to check if it's true. Every prompt in Gemini or ChatGPT has a link to it. Always make sure you check every link just to see if what it's talking about is true. Never assume the AI is always correct. Just check the facts, challenge the assumptions, and actively be basically in the opposite view of AI. Treat it almost like a debate. You want to make sure that AI is as correct as possible. And remember, at the end of the day, you're the author. If you if you yourself fail to check what AI is doing, like Ahana said, AI has serious security issues because it doesn't understand low-level code. It's up to you to make sure you cover those weaknesses and responsibly you tell people when you have used AI or you tell your coworkers when you have, because AI is a collaborator, not a scapegoat. Must practice extreme transparency when you're using AI. AI has contributed to your work, make sure you credit it so people know that it's AI made and not done by a human. And remember, the magic of AI happens when it automates the mundane, leaving you more time to do what you are uniquely human, creating art, thinking emotionally, and creative problem solving. Then now we should talk about quite possibly the most important aspect of AI in terms of business users, which is especially important for people who are interested in Sanya's talk, is that when you type a prompt into a public AI website, that information goes straight into the model, the company. For example, Gemini, all your data that you've typed in goes straight to Google. This is extremely important for you to remember, especially if you're working with confidential company data. So, or you're using any kind of private data. Remember, keep private data private. It should be up to you where to use it. And AI should never be able to access private data, only anything public knowledge. Treat Basically just treat the website as if you were posting it to YouTube or Twitter. Because once you post that information, it's going to go public to Google, and they have all the rights to use it. Remember, always look for enterprise grade, secure versions of AI tools when handling sensitive data. That also includes legal text that make sure companies cannot own any data you send to them. And always respect intellectual properties of any human work you've used, especially true for art. Remember to include any kind of artists or any designs you mentioned so people know where it comes from. At the end of the day, the AI is just a mirror. Gemini is a mirror. It reflects the data we're given and the intentions of the person of what you're prompting it. It can be a tool that can help you exponentially increase your efficiency. It can help you understand difficult topics in schools. But remember, it can also spread misinformation. It can magnify plagiarism and can cause data leaks. Drive the technology. Don't let it drive you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Saurabh. That was really informational. Does anyone have any questions for anyone, for Namish, Sanya, Ahana, or Saurabh? Or any feedback you'd like to give, anything you want to say? if no one has anything to say, then thank you for joining. Thank you for being a good audience. And thank you to the presenters, Namish, Sanya, Ahana, and Saurabh, for a very good session today. Thank you so much. I think we'll end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Saurabh said, his session was more of a seminar. So if there's anyone, any small question, any doubt that you all have, you can ask me.